Can you imagine a city built on freedom, yet filled with enslaved people? That was Washington, D.C. before 1862. The sight of people in chains shocked visitors. They came to see a nation of liberty. Instead, they saw the cruelty of slavery. It felt wrong. It was wrong. The Capitol building stood tall, a symbol of freedom. But nearby, enslaved people worked and suffered. They built our nation's capital. They cooked, cleaned, and cared for others, all without freedom. They deserve better. Everyone deserves freedom. Many people knew this was wrong. They spoke out against slavery. They believed in freedom for all. These abolitionists wrote, spoke, and fought for change. Could they convince the government? The fight for freedom was long and hard, but it was a fight worth fighting. And in the heart of the nation's capital, change was coming. One man stood up for freedom, Senator Henry Wilson. He was a radical Republican. They believed in equality for all. Wilson knew slavery was wrong. He wanted it abolished in Washington, D.C. He wouldn't give up. Wilson and other leaders brought the issue to Congress. They proposed a bill. This bill would free enslaved people in Washington, D.C. It was a bold move. Not everyone agreed. The Senate was divided. The Civil War raged on. But the fight for freedom continued inside and outside of Congress. The debate was heated, but Wilson and his allies persisted. They argued for justice and equality. Finally, the day came. April 16, 1862. The Senate voted on the bill. The air was thick with anticipation, and then a moment of triumph. The bill passed. President Abraham Lincoln signed the bill into law. It was a great victory. The Compensated Emancipation Act was born. This law did two important things. First, it freed over 3,000 enslaved people in Washington, D.C. They were finally free. Second, the law gave money to former slave owners. This was called compensation. It was a way to help with the transition. This part's debated today, but it helped the law pass at the time. The signing of the act was a turning point. It showed the nation was changing. Slavery could not stand. Freedom was on the march. Imagine the joy. Families celebrated their newfound freedom. They were finally reunited. Children could live without fear. It was a time for rejoicing. Every year we celebrate DC Emancipation Day on April 16th. It's a reminder of our history. We remember the struggles and triumphs of the past, and we celebrate the enduring power of freedom. The Compensated Emancipation Act led to greater change. It paved the way for the Emancipation Proclamation. And finally, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery in the entire nation. Today, we honor the legacy of freedom. We remember the fight for equality, and we continue to build a more just and equitable society for all. Happy DC Emancipation Day.